Kyle in the back, can we get the door closed? Thank you. Huh? All right, everybody. If you had a good weekend, say yeah! Yeah! Wow, that doesn't even need a second time. Jeez. All right, so final moment has come. We know all of you worked so hard throughout the weekend. There's been a lot of caffeine, and I'm sure you're a little bit jittery right now, but we're about to get things rolling. Tyler's going to go over a few things. Keep in mind that you have 5 minutes of presentation and 2 minutes of Q&A, where the judges will ask you questions. One thing to keep in mind, as the team comes and finishes up their presentation, the team that's after, go ahead and set up on the projector while the first team gets their questions from the judges. Cool?
Also, make sure you don't hold the mic like this, otherwise it's blown out and it sounds really bad. Efren here is broadcasting, streaming live, so you can tweet out. The URL right now is just TechZulu.com. So all your friends, your family, your coworkers, that maybe your boss that's watching. But all right. Well, thanks, Sylvester. So you guys had an awesome time. Did you? All right. Woo! Did you guys make some new friends? All right. Aww. So I think a lot of you are going to be wondering, well, after tonight, this energy's up here, and you're wondering, what do I do next? And one of the first things you're going to do is have a team meeting right after when we wrap up tonight, and then probably some sort of follow-up, if that's maybe tomorrow or in the next couple days. And you're going to figure out who's going to be in and what's their runway. Are they going to be able to keep running with this? If they are, awesome. If they're not, just understand that. And go ahead and write that down. And with that said, if it's in an email, if it's in some form of writing, and from there, you're going to want to go ahead and exchange all contact information. And if you are continuing with it, you're going to want to look at the legal aspect. And Dan Wu is fortunate to do office. Where's Dan? All right, so Dan's available with office hours and any questions. He's been an amazing, big supporter of the community, and I want to thank Dan. And really just keep that energy alive. So, woo! Thank you, Dan. So next thing, you're going to wonder what's beyond that. So you really want to look at building your team. It's not, okay, now we need to find investors. It's find the right people to put on your team. And beyond that, the next step is going to be looking at finding your mentors and advisors. Mentors and advisors are everything. So we were fortunate to have some awesome people here this weekend and had a fantastic talk from Tyler earlier earlier today, yeah. 54 hours, right? And also you're going to want to be able to just get out there and ask. Like, you're going to have to ask for help, ask people, whatever it might be. But while you're asking, don't be shy, ask, but also find ways to help. You have to contribute value back. Now, also, there's many events and people here in this community, and really get good at going to events, reaching out, and really LinkedIn. I mean, you may have all your friends on Facebook, but truthfully, not all of people professionally want to connect with you on Facebook because they might see that picture of you doing a cake stand at the back there. And so with all the meetups, Coloft hosts a number of awesome meetups. There's the chalkboard here in the back, and you can find them online. Also, Plancast has some awesome list of meetups. And we have South by coming up. Anyone going to South by? Woo! Has anyone not heard of South by? Okay. Woo! No. So also we have the Launch Conf coming up, and Tyler Crowley's with Launch Conf. So yeah, sure, go for it.
This hasn't really been announced yet, but one of the companies today, sorry, I'm learning. We're going to give away a table and 5 tickets to one of the companies tonight to go to the launch conference, which some of you might remember we did this last time, and I gave it to Zarly. And Zarly, when they did Startup Weekend, they went there, and good things happened for Zarly. So hopefully the same will happen for you. Cool? Boom.
And also, there's another Startup Weekend coming up in Orange County, March 30th. So definitely, many Startup Weekends. We've got LA, we've got USC, and just a lot going on here. So beyond that, we've got now, I think, if Vesta, correct me if I'm wrong, we've got over 5 accelerators. We've got 6 now going on in LA. So this has been a huge past 6 to 12 months. And so definitely consider an accelerator. You're going to want to really look at building, shipping, and getting users, learning from your users and repeating. So really as fast as you can ship, shipping is everything. They say if you're not embarrassed when you ship, you waited too long. So don't just be holding back, just get it out there. Also, if you're not familiar with, anyone here read Startup Lessons Learned by Eric Ries? All right, so I see like 4 hands, maybe 5. Sorry, we've got Lean Startup, and also check out Startup Lessons Learned, his blog. Also, we have Steve Blank, which is 4 Steps to the Epiphany, and the short version, which is authored by Patrick Vlaskovitz here in Southern California, and it's custdev.com. It's custdev.com. Must read, and there's an awesome book, which is the shortcut to 4 Steps to the Epiphany. This was written as a series of lecture notes at Stanford on customer development, and definitely an awesome resource. And also, there's going to be the first ever user experience product development workshop held in Santa Monica, put on by Luxor. And Luxor is an educational program out of the Bay Area that is put on by the co-founder of Adaptive Path. And in a nutshell, brings Silicon Valley education to entrepreneurs around the world. So there's going to be the first ever Luxor event here in LA, March 17th. Also, the winners, first and second place this evening, are going to get the first ever Luxor in a Box series. And this is the pre-release version that's going to be out and announced at South by with Eric Ries at the Lean event. In a nutshell, it goes through product development, and it's incredibly, I wish we had that access early on when we got started with Mingly. And other resources, there's an event called Startup Nights that's hosted monthly here at Coloft. Has anyone been to Startup Nights? All right, awesome. And also, Jason Nazar with DocStock puts on Startups Uncensored. Fantastic, amazing event. Has anyone been to Startups Uncensored? All right, one more time. Anyone? Yeah! Woo! All right. Now also, Startup Bus. Has anyone been on the Startup Bus ever here? What do you guys think about the Startup Bus? All right. So it's a 3-day hack leaving from LA going to Austin, and it leaves March 6th. You can apply at startupbus.com. There's still a couple spots left, and you can looking for some good teams. And you can also tweet at Max for an invite. Max was founder of a company called Volley that launched right here at Startup Weekend. And also we've got all the various Coloft events. Wednesdays does a series of lunches. So we're going to be doing a Startup Weekend series of lunches, which are basically they automatically schedule lunches for your calendar. So if you want to reconnect with people in this room and be able to, whether they're going on here in Santa Monica or various places in LA, we'll be sending out an email in the next 24 hours with a link to the Wednesdays.com opportunity to register. And also TechZulu. Have you been to TechZulu.com? Yeah. All right. So we've got Efren here in the back. So thanks, Efren. And we're going to go ahead and again go through our sponsors. So without the sponsors, this wouldn't be possible. So first off, we have our premier sponsors, which is Hulu, Spire.io, and Spire. All right, awesome. So thanks for being here and all the support. Spire.io and Edgecast. So let's thank our premier sponsors. Big round of applause, yeah? All right, and then we've got Idea Lab, Originate, Factual, Cybercoders, Start Engine, FlowTab, The Honest Co., DocStock, Launchpad LA, TriNet, Fortis, and Coloft. So we want to give a special thanks to Idea Lab's been a huge, huge, huge sponsor and supporter. They've been here with Startup Nights, Startup Weekend, as well as Factual. Factual's been behind Startup Weekend for as long as I can remember. So we're our Factual crew. So thank you guys. Awesome job. And there's actually a factual contest, which they'll tell you a little bit more about based off of one of they're judging, and there's a prize at the end here. Also, I want to thank Howard here being here with Start Engine. So one of the new accelerators here in LA. So thanks, Howard. And again, we want to thank Dan Wu for all his support with Startup Weekend, Startup Nights. I think Dan came out to Startup Weekend in Vegas, and we've seen him everywhere. So again, thank you for this, and thank you, Dan. Woo! And also, let's go through our global sponsors. Again, we've got Google and SendGrid. And again, Elmer, where's Elmer? He took off, but thank you, Elmer and SendGrid. Also, Microsoft. We've got Twilio, Amazon, CloudMine, and Kauffman Foundation, OpenTalk, and let's give a big round of applause for all the global sponsors. So thank you. So also, let's thank Tyler for his talk earlier today on pitching. I think that was really helpful, and I think we all got a good out of it. So thanks, Tyler. And also, Cameron, Avesta, where are you guys? All right, thank you. Woo! And Chris, where's Chris? All right, thank you, Chris. And Bex isn't. And she oh, all right. And Adam and Joey in from Seattle. We're Adam and Joey. Where you guys? All right. Woo! Also, Kauffman Foundation. So again, Kauffman got behind Startup Weekend last year, and it's been amazing having Kauffman. So thank Kauffman Foundation. Woo! And Coloft. So thank you, Coloft, for hosting. Woo! So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to email myself, Avesta, Cameron, Chris, any questions about what's going on, what do I do next. And a couple of people asked me what exactly was Mingly. So in a nutshell, we make sure you don't fall out of touch with your important contacts and allow you to build and leverage your network. So all the great people you met here at Startup Weekend, any event, we help you foster and build those relationships. So prizes. So first off, SendGrid is going to be giving away a jam box to the winning team. And from there, you're going to have to do a vote to figure out who on your team you're going to give that jam box to. Coloft is offering a 1-month membership for the winning team. And also we have the Luxor Box 1 and Box 2. Second place will have Luxor Box 1, along with...
What else do you think second prize is?
Woo! Yeah!
Where's my Cadillac?
As long as you close that. Now Factual also is going to be choosing, the best factual integration, which is going to get $500 along with free access to their API. But that's if you use Factual, and they're judging on the best factual integration. And with that, we want to introduce our judges. So first off is Howard Marks with Start Engine. Paige Craig with BetterWorks. Tyler Crowley with Squeal, Open Angel Forum launch, and This Week in Startups. And also David Waxman joining us from People PC, Firefly Networks, and SpotRunner. So thank you, judges. So with that, we're going to get started. So team number 1, I think we have App Store Tools. And again, if you're on deck, make sure you are when Q&A starts, make sure you are here on deck. And you're going to be connecting the projector during Q&A. So again, if you are on deck, please make sure you are standing by. All right. Cool.
even understand a word you just said.
I'll just guess how many minutes. Oh, there you
Oh,
go. Right on.
yeah, I've got the clock. I missed your timer. Time is in my hand.
He doesn't turn it around, I'll do this with my hand.
Yeah. The goal is I'm just going to look at it and then tell you it's it's going to be a mystery.
Yeah, I got a mic right here.
All right.
Check. Okay, are we up? Oh, wait. There we go. Hey, everyone. Yeah. My name's George, and I'm proud to announce today's launch of AppStoreTools.com. It's live. You can check it out right now if you want. Although it's in beta, so go easy. But it's live. It's live. It's AppStoreTools.com. Check it out if you'd like while we're chatting. We launch. Go. So I'd like to tell you a quick story. Story about Bob. Bob's a happy guy, and Bob's happy because he's going to launch an app. He's built an app. He's building an app. He's going to launch it in the App Store. And Bob named his app the Happy App. He's so happy about it. In fact, he put his heart and his soul into this app. He put his evenings and weekends to this app, all his time and money into this app, and he hopes he skyrockets right to the top of the App Store, right? Although, unfortunately for Bob, like so many, he actually wound up in the bottom of the pile. We're so sad for Bob, right? Oh, I know. But Bob, it's okay. App Store Tools wants to help you. All Bob has to do is go to appstoretools.com and find the keywords that he needs to make his app be successful and skyrocket back to the top of the pile where he belongs. Now, appstoretools.com is sitting on a ton of keyword data. This keyword data can help him examine and find the opportunities of highly searched keywords in the App Store, which have low competition. So just like someone mining for gold, he can find the opportunities that will get him placed in the App Store. Oh, here we go. So Bob can search for his happy apps. He can search for his happy keywords right here. And when he searches for his happy keywords, he can see the keyword data, but he can also see apps. The apps, which are probably his competitors, gives him a unique peek into like sort of spying into how his competitors are doing. He can spy into any of these other apps and see how those apps are ranking on the keywords in the App Store. He can see the competitive information in terms of how popular and how competitive those keywords are for his competitors' apps. So spying on his competitors and doing his own unique keyword research, Bob can figure out what it'll take to make his bottom of the pile app bubble up to the top. In fact, Bob, the second time he makes an app, is going to go to appstoretools.com first, do his keyword research to make sure his second app goes right up to the top like it should. So aren't we happy for Bob? Yeah! Boom! appstoretools.com. Okay, this is an amazing market opportunity. This is amazing business, and I'd like to have my partner Evan come out and tell you all about it. Go, Evan.
All right. How's it going? My name's Evan. I'm excited to be a part of appstoretools.com. And I want to tell you a few facts about the mobile marketplace. First one is there's 17.5 million mobile apps out there. And it's growing at a rate of 30% per year. One of the other interesting things is that a company called Chomp recently just got purchased last Friday for $50 million by Apple. Now, if you don't know Chomp, Chomp is a discovery search engine, which means that if you're trying to search for more relevant apps, the App Store isn't so good. So you use that and you find ones you like. Now, we're in the same category, but we're very different. We differentiate ourselves by the one fact that we help app owners find keywords that will improve their revenue. That's really it. That's the magic secret sauce. Okay. With that being said, we've surveyed 100 people on TechCrunch, and 68.1% said that they would buy this service. Not only that, we have 40,000 emails of app owners that we can market to tonight. We're going with a subscription-based business model. We're debating in between the 30-day free trial or the freemium, offering different levels of service. So if you're looking to increase your visibility, your downloads, and your revenue, come see us. appstoretools.com. Thanks.
Good job, man.
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, so how many people, so I know a lot of apps are being made, there's a lot of free apps. How many of those folks do you think are actually going to pay for a tool?
Use the mic to answer that question.
Oh. I'm pretty loud.
So what we did is when we talked to those people, when we surveyed a bunch of folks, we found that 60% would be willing to pay for something like this. In fact, we wanted to make sure we vetted this idea before we worked hard on it and brought it to this startup weekend. And that was kind of our mark. We were hoping to get more than 20% folks saying they would be willing to buy before we wanted to go forward ahead with this idea. And when we found that the respondents in that survey were 60%, we're like, let's go. Can you show the survey? Actually, I don't have a slide for the survey, I'm sorry, but I will follow up with you in an email. What was asked in the survey is, do you have enough experience, or would you like some more? Would you like some help, if you will, doing your SEO that some people typically do for their websites, but in the App Store? Would you pay for App Store SEO help?
And was the price mentioned in the would you pay?
It was not, and so that was sort of a question to actually say, would you be willing to pay anything, frankly? Right. And then as we talk to early adopters, we're going to say, well, actually, what would you pay? So the price elasticity is something we're going to have to figure out, definitely.
Can you?
Hey, you want to jump in real quick? We only got 2 minutes, man. So
Oh, right. So we did a survey run here as well, and we were asking different price points. And I think depending on how much revenue somebody's making, they're willing to pay different price points. There was some research like $3,000 a month versus like almost millions of dollars per year. So we could do commission based.
Can you describe your team and your experiences just to get a sense?
Sure. So I'm a full stack developer, and I was cranking it hard all weekend. We've got a team of 7 actually, and we'd introduce them all. We run out of time. Everybody, raise your hand. Team App Store Tools. Yeah, we crushed it. So what was represented by Team App Store Tools though is we've got MBA folks, we've got biz dev folks, we've got guys who can reach out into industry. Where I think honestly, I was quite surprised by it, uniquely situated, so that we got the tech chops, the design chops, the biz dev chops, and the marketing chops. I'm like, wow, this is the dream team. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. That it? Any more? We're done? Great. Thanks. AppStoreTools.com. We're live. Check us out. Thank you.
That's all good. Funny.
Okay, let me know when.
Sorry, I had like a wedgie or something.
You already win.
How do we know when our time's up? How do we know when our... I'm watching. Thank you.
Ready?
All right, ready, guys?
All right, let's do this. Yes.
All right. Our team is Dudley. It's a dude's marketplace. And before I start presenting, I want to pose a question to you guys. So to all the men out there, what's the most important thing we want to hold on to? Any takers? Boobs. That's my teammate there.
I think you won. Nailed it.
Man card. It's a big part, right? We want to uphold our manly appearance, our manly traditions of manhood. So, the problem in the marketplace is, where do men go for high-quality lifestyle products today? Anybody want to take a guess? Where? Exactly, right answer. Dudley, the dude's marketplace. So, what are we about at a high level? We connect the buyer, which in this case is Tom, right, with a seller-like compass cufflinks here, and we bring them together in this marketplace in Dudley. Next slide, please. So let's take a deeper look at Tom. Tom is 35 years old. He's single. I dated him if I was a girl. He's got a date with a Victoria's Secret model next weekend. So he needs to be looking his best. He's athletic, in good shape, and belongs to Equinox, I hear. He's a professional lawyer, and he wants to look really exceptional again for this date. I'm talking James Bond good next weekend. So how is he going to achieve this? Let's talk about a Dudley demo and walk through this experience. So, Tom, calm down, guys. This ain't a porn site. Tom got introduced and referred through John, right? So he logs in, creates an account with us, and he sees this marketplace. And he looks around, and he's looking around, and something catches his eye. Those cufflinks. So he clicks, reads around. It's like $70. Okay. He adds it to the cart. And then he's like, I can afford this, but it's a little pricey. But he heard about our referral program. So he goes and looks at a referral. He sends it off to at least 5 of his friends. He gets $10 in credit. And he goes to check out this time. The discount model will be in the final version. And he checks out, right? So let's go on. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to introduce Susan here.
Hi, everyone. So today I spent 2 hours talking to 20 plus potential customers in their early 20s to early 40s. Majority were single, and I went to a number of different places, including the Adidas store where I was thrown out for soliciting.
Real customer
real customer days, yes. So the results was actually great news. More than 50% said that they were interested. They were really interested in the curation aspect of it. And my favorite comment was actually from one of the wives who said that she would love to buy products for her husband so he would stop stealing her eye cream.
Thank you, Susan. So let's go on to our biggest question here. Next slide, please. How is Dudley going to make money? All right, big question as a startup. So either our team or a user, in this case Tom, would find a product and submit a product to our database. We'll list the products on Dudley's marketplace, work with the vendors to mark down that product at least 10 to 30%, and implement a drop ship model, which Tom would buy those cufflinks, for instance, directly from our site, and we'll share a 50-50 split with those vendors. Please, next slide. Customer acquisition model. From a founder's perspective, I'm sure a lot of you guys in the startup world recognize this as a Brad Feld's R model. We have 2 phases of acquisition. Tom visits our site through referral via email. He signs up. He is activated now and browsing our products. Perhaps he doesn't buy anything the first time. We send out an email because now we know what products he likes. Comes up, visits again. This time he refers a friend and buys. Next slide, please. So the market opportunity on a search level is 155 million Google searches in personal care product keywords. 15 million of those are Google searches for men's targeted personal product keywords. Our competitive landscape is the top 10 here. As you can tell, there's not a really top leader in the marketplace. And you may be asking yourself, what is our biggest selling point? Next slide. Dudley is going to be the first marketplace to be implementing the upvoting system and downvoting system, which is really going to be this differentiator in our system. Thank you. We'd like to thank Coloft and Startup Weekend and sponsors. Do we have a Q&A or anything? Yes.
So you made this quick reference to working with vendors to get 10 to 30% off. How do you intend to do that?
Biggest thing that I believe is really going to be a selling point is this marketplace where we're offering exclusive products. So I think the difference between the products we'll be offering than the typical run-of-the-mill Amazon products or Walmart products that you see is that in a lifestyle reference, Amazon would be kind of like a Walmart, right? Dudley would be kind of like, what's an example of a high-end marketplace? Or Sephora. Not a Sephora. Come on, buddy. Work with me here. Whole Foods, some kind of, right, in a grocery shopping center. It's exclusive high-end products that we'll be offering. And it's not the products that you'll find typically everywhere. So we'll be working with smaller vendors and trying to get them in front of an audience, right? And therefore, they'll be more willing to work with a discounted price. That's kind of how we'll be implementing that. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you.
It's already started?
No, you just need to play slideshow.
It's the wrong is it? Can I up it?
Yeah.
That's better. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, we did it.
Oh. There you go.
There we go. Is that...
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. So I'm going to talk to you about PopSwap. And PopSwap is an online national marketplace that lets you securely barter and trade with people all over the country. And we did some market research on this concept over the weekend. And based on that research, we'd like to introduce you to a couple of people. The first one we're going to meet is Kyle. Kyle lives in Allentown. And Kyle likes PopSwap because there's not a lot of people to trade with in Allentown. And PopSwap lets him do it with a national marketplace securely. Kyle also represents 40% of people that were excited about the concept of trading and negotiating. So now we're going to introduce you to Kristen. Now, Kristen likes PopSwap because she really enjoys the visual experience of going through people's closets and seeing the kind of stuff they're interested in trading. She's actually curated a closet full of her own stuff that she's interested in trading. So now we're going to see how Kyle and Kristen might use PopSwap. Okay, let's see if my simulator will work here. So this is PopSwap. So I'm going to go through here, take a look at some stuff. Oh, a Lumia 800. I've been looking for one of those. So this is something that's available to trade. It's brand new, good condition. So I'll go ahead and propose a trade with whoever has it. We don't need to know who has it. It's really Lauren here. So what am I going to give her for this Lumia? I'll go through some stuff I've got. And I'll give her to my iPhone. Why not? And I want to split the fees. I'm going to propose a trade. So now she's going to get that in her, she's running it here on the phone. So she's going to go through and do whatever and let me know when she's done whatever. And then we'll see. So right now she's being shown the trade I'm offering, and she's getting to chime in with what she thinks of it. All right, so she's done it. So I'm going to go into my deal center here, say, oh, counter offer pending. Okay, so all right, she wants my Star Trek lunchbox in addition to the iPhone, and she wants me to pay the fees for making the swap. All right, I want the phone, so I'll go ahead and accept that offer, and now we'll both receive an email from PopSwap letting us know what to do next.
Now let's introduce ourselves to Jane. Jane is a 45-year-old woman who avidly shops on many online marketplaces. She, though, is part of our core demographic that right now is a little unsure about the fact that is bartering safe online. Sometimes she thinks, hey, maybe I'm going to get duped. That gives us an opportunity. We actually provide a secure service that allows both of these users to create a secure transaction utilizing our third-party operation centers. Tongue twister. So let's get back to Kyle. Kyle and Kristen have actually completed their bartering, and they've also decided on a secure transaction. In this case, they've now sent both of their items to the Poperation Center, where they are then verified by our third-party Poperation specialist, and then they're sent to the final destinations. Now let's talk a little bit of business, my specialty. We have 3 key revenue and profit streams here at PopSwap. First of all, we're going to make money off of the secured transactions. Second up, whenever there's a direct customer-to-customer transaction, we're going to take a $1 fee. Thirdly, you have the ability to create a promoted pop for $1. And finally, what I like to consider, we're playing chess, not checkers here at PopSwap. So once we actually are starting to create enough transactions in around year 3, we actually are going to bring all of our verification services online that allows us to increase our margin per transaction made. So in general, what's PopSwap? PopSwap is a national gives you the national ability to trade online with a visual roulette of Pinterest mixed in with the excitement of bartering like a 7-year-old. And what we like to think about is now imagine if we had more than just 3 people on our team.
Question. What is the cost of doing it the way you proposed was the escrow company?
The escrow company will actually, since we're using more of a variable cost model at the beginning, we are going to use something similar to a 2 different options, a TaskRabbit model, and I kind of have it built out where let's say a $12 transaction, and we're taking this down, a $12 secure transaction fee would pay for the shipping to the verified service, that would pay for the shipping to the final service, and give $1 per transaction that you complete as a third-party PopSwap operations specialist, the third party, and so they make $1 off of each of those transactions, and in aggregate, they make money and we make money.
We're actually, what he means by the TaskRabbit model is we're finding people all over the country that are willing to like have these packages come through and do that, and we'll interview them over Skype, background check them, and then pay them a few bucks per, so they don't even have to really leave their house in order to make that money.
And we also have the option of kind of using small mom and pop mail centers as our potential third-party operation centers, and that totally changes once we bring it all in-house.
So you said you're making about $1 per trade when you start, is that right?
Yes, our goal is to make $1 per trade, and it ends up being through a customer.
Okay, so you're making $1. Then what do you think your acquisition costs are going to be, and how are you going to acquire people?
How are we going to acquire people? Well, we're going to really start, just as I feel many of these social sites go with starting with our key demographics. Who are our key niche markets? We have, for example, collectible users, maybe comic books. We also have maybe women with small children that are looking to exchange things during the... Not the demographic, the how. How? Well, I would say just as you have 2 options as organically. Once you start marketing direct to those personnel, and there we go.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Hi. Hi. So I'm Aviva, and I'm here with Work Habitats. But actually, I'm here for Jack. Jack is Jack is a consultant for what? Food trucks. Jack is a consultant, a business consultant for food trucks, and he can't work from home because he's always on the go, right? Where does he go? And I'm here for Mike. Mike is a developer who can't work from home, has a tough time because his roommate is a pothead, and it's too tempting all day. So where do these folks go? Well, it's not just them, right? Coloft, potentially, if they could afford it and weren't spending all their money on pot. So there are, currently, more than 30 million Americans who are, in some form or fashion, working independently. And that's continuing to increase, as we've all heard. There are more and more freelancers, independent consultants, et cetera, and the workplace is changing. Now, there are great co-working spaces, which we love, but not everyone can justify that as part of their business expenses. So currently, there is no room, there's no opportunity, and there is a really huge opportunity for providing a way for mobile workers to have access right now to a space that they can work from that's welcoming to them working from there, that isn't like some of these places that cover outlets or that say, please leave after 30 minutes, right? And potentially puts you in the same place as like-minded people. So to talk us through that, we're all about helping mobile workers, right, find places to work. But again, to talk us through that is going to be Jill. Jill's going to walk us through the app, right? Jill is a high-end toilet seat designer who lives here in Santa Monica. It's a business. And she's looking for a place to work because she just doesn't have inspiration at home. So she pulls up the Work Habitats app, which, let's see, is currently functional and built on Factual. Thank you very much. Woo. And so she can look through all types of places to work from, and she decides she'd like to work from a cafe, and it's very important that it has outlets and parking because she doesn't want to get a parking ticket. Okay. So she looks for someplace near here, and it comes up with a number of different options. These are ones with deals. That's obviously what stands out to begin with. The stars represent how friendly they are to workers. It's not just a star like a Yelp system. It's specific to how work-friendly they are. So she chooses Aviva's Coffee. Goes in here, sees what the deal is. It's 10% off for Wi-Fi. Awesome. And she sees that there are 3 other people in the Work Habitats environment that she can connect with. She loves Claire. She knows her. She goes ahead and clicks on her to try and send a message saying, hey, I'm here. Awesome. There's also the opportunity for her to ultimately create her own hub, create her own way of co-working, which we'll get to in a second. And that allows her to create a huddle. So she can create a huddle, send a message out to her entire network and say, I'm going to be working from Aviva's Cafe, and does anyone want to come and join? And put together her own casual co-working, right? All right. And then she can just go back and check out the map view to find out where she's going. And there you go. That's the app. So the big question, right? How do we make money? I know, you guys especially. So the businesses pay, right? The businesses pay. Why do the businesses pay? They're the ones being listed with the deals. And the difference with these deals versus Groupon or anyone else is that we work with them specifically to create deals that are the most profitable for them. We're not looking to take as much as possible, but we charge them a monthly fee, which they then can go on the back end and change whatever deals they like. So if they have a tough time getting people there late at night, they offer a late night deal. If they aren't making money from coffee, then they can offer deals on higher end ticket items. So that's us. That's Work Habitats. And any questions? Yes. Our sticker.
I'm actually surprised to hear that Tyler isn't interested in profits.
No, I have 2 questions.
Yeah, please.
But before we get to that, how do you plan to acquiring local businesses is notoriously hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get money out of small business owners. How do you plan to do that?
Well, they're very small.
How much money are we talking about?
Right. They're very small dollar amounts per month from all of these businesses, right? So we're looking to build them. But ultimately, where this is going is there's a niche that we're dealing with right now, which is the independent workers, right? But that expands, and you've got students who need to work from places, which then becomes more appealing to these small businesses. And once you prove this concept, you can upscale to higher-end businesses that are willing to pay more. So, for instance, a mall needs to drive customers there. They're willing to potentially pay a lot more. You also have a premium on giving additional marketing consulting to these businesses to help them really find where the profits are for them. Yes?
Did you consider sort of a reciprocal model where instead of building something for the consumer, you build a platform for businesses to list their empty space, like Airbnb for desk space if they happen to have an office, they want to,
yes.
do that. Did you consider a model like that?
Absolutely we did, and it exists.
Yeah, I'm sure it exists.
Yep.
Why not go that model? Why do you feel this one's more compelling?
Right. Because that model exists, and there are a lot of places that are co-working spaces that are great. There are a lot of ways to connect people with spaces that they can go and pay for. What there's not is a way for people to be able to find places that they can work from who can't afford to be able to pay for space and that just want to sit down with their laptop in between meetings. I'm in Hollywood. I have no idea what's there, and I can find a comfortable place to work. You got 13 seconds. Yes.
Follow-up question. Can users discuss or rate a location without consent of the business?
Yep, absolutely. That's how we get the rating system. If you suck to work at, you only get 1 star. There you go. Thanks.
All right, well, team after party, are you guys ready for us? All right, I'll start by taking you guys to a basketball game. Insanity. Okay, so think about if you were in the game. Don't you want to go to an after party to celebrate after the game? So how do you do that? Are you gonna ask everyone in the arena to go to an after party? No, because that's gonna take you forever. So here's the problem: every event ends at one point, but there's always people that want to continue to party after. So how do you do that? You can't ask people. So we got a solution. It doesn't work. So you download our after party app and to find or host an after party. And now Simon is going to tell you how this thing works.
After party, woo! Woo! All right, so we all know that Jeremy Lin is famous, but we heard through the after party elite members that the infamous Mike Tyson is in town for the Oscars. Iron Mike got turned away from the Oscars. They wouldn't let him in, but you know what? He likes to party. So he downloads the after party app, and he connects using Facebook, imports all his contacts, and it takes him to this screen. Very simple. He has 2 options. He can either find a party, an after party or an event, or host an after party. We all know that Iron Mike is not going to host an after party. Not many people would show up. It seems a little bit too dangerous when that guy goes anywhere. So he's not going to do that. He wants to party. He's going to find an after party. All these lists here, all these parties have been populated from his proximity. They find actually where he is, and they let him know where the closest events are. He really wants to go to the Oscars after party, but it's full. So he scrolls up, and he sees that the startup weekend after party is going down tonight. He's also an avid venture capitalist. He can see there that all 9 of his friends are attending the party, so he chooses that party. He clicks attend, and he can also share with his Facebook friends, his Twitter followers, and let everybody know which party he's going to. Once you go to map view, it actually shows you where his after party is, or his event, and it shows that it's actually close to where he is. So he's ready to go. Iron Mike actually lost his driver's license, so he's going to call Uber to pick him up and take him to the party. Now, if you wanted to host a party, we know from being here this weekend that the Coloft guys love to party as well. The beer has been flowing all weekend, so they're going to set up an after party for tonight at Volcano. They have their event name set up, Startup Weekend After Party. They can input the time, the location, the number of people they want, and they can even take a picture, launch it from their camera or actually from their mobile device that they've saved earlier. If they want to charge a cover, they can charge a cover, and we use PayPal for the members to pay. So let's after party. Confirmation screen gives you the confirmation, lets you know that it's ready to go. You can share it with your Facebook friends, Twitter followers, and even send out a mass SMS. Now that the party's set up, you can edit anything you want, and you can see that the after party team is already going. I hope everybody else would join us tonight for the after party at Volcano. If for whatever reason they wanted to cancel, they can cancel the party, but we hope they don't do that.
All right, nothing is better to do your customer validation at the bar. We actually went out last night and talked to some people at the bar, and most of them are very interested in our service. So our main target customer is college students because that's just what they do all the time. And LA is a big party city, but bars close at 2, so where do you go? After party. Sports fan, Lakers win the championship, party up. Look at all those crazy concert fans. They want an after party. All right, let's get serious. After party is not just for fun. Think about business event like this. People go there to network, to close deals, but you go home with like 30 business cards and you got nothing done. Why not grab a drink with them? You know, coffee is for closers, beer is for closers too. And so finally, here's our revenue model. I'll leave that to the Q&A. Okay, so we show that because that looks prettier, but we actually have a working product. It's not like fully loaded, but we can have a post an event and actually have a map view. But it doesn't look that great. That's why we only show the picture of it.
No, I'm good. Thanks. I don't have questions.
Any other questions?
You know what? Wait. You talked to users, right, to see if they would be interested in this. Did you talk to businesses? What kind of feedback did you give from them?
We actually talked to the bar called.
Yeah, we talked to a couple bar owners, and it's one of those questions.
Which bars?
I'm sorry?
Which bars?
The London Britannia pub. We went to the Polish place here.
Warsaw,
We went to Mackay.
Yeah.
They get the question all the time from people, where can we go next?
Yeah.
And they offer them advice to where to go. And it's one of those things where they're busy running their bar. If they have a mobile app, they can do it themselves and find out where other friends and people are going as well.
Okay.
Can you just clarify something? You say that you want to take a piece of the cover charge for the after party. Did you talk to any people who run after parties, and how do you expect to get to that?
We actually interview like 30 of our friends, and most of them say they will probably charge a entrance fee for like $5 to clean out the craps. So we probably charge like 10% of that $5. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Well, staying sober is for closers too, and that's what I did this weekend. So my name is James. Our company is TapTap Maps, and what we do is we are a Gov 2.0 company that provides access to government data for real estate developers and so forth. So the problem that we're addressing is that the permitting process is very difficult. Governments are sitting on loads of data, but it's very difficult, time-consuming, and costly to access it. Now, a lot of projects get rejected after somebody spends a whole bunch of money going through the permitting process and trying to figure out if they can build on a particular property. So I think everybody agrees that new business is good for municipalities, and a new revenue is also great, especially with the macro trends right now in government, and government financing is really tough right now. So also, new business is great for politicians because it makes them look good as well. So our end consumers are developers, realtors, commercial finance types, and so forth. So I'd like you to meet Vincent.
Hey, how you doing? I got a little cash. I need to invest, but it's a very difficult kind of economic environment, as you might say. And I don't really know where I should put my business. And we're thinking about the family strip joint, but that's got too many zoning restrictions. So I'm thinking maybe I do a little refinishing work. But the problem is I go out, these guys, I don't know where to put my business. And the permits, I don't know who to pay off. I'm sorry.
Okay, Vincent, we get the point. I didn't have that budget that much time for you. Okay, so that's Vincent. He wants to open a legitimate business. So he's going to come into the app. He's going to start out in his area. He's going to hit the search menu. And he's going to enter in a little bit of information and choose the layers, of the information that he's interested in. So there's a freemium model here. There's basic for citizens. There's professional for like real estate. And then there's professional plus for land developers. So some examples of that, he's going to get that information back. Some examples of that are going to be zoning, liens, easements, economic incentives, federal permits, and so forth. And again, cities are just sitting on this data. It's there. So let's move on. So the point is that here we have a property. There's all this information that we can overlay on it and provide that for developers. Now, Vincent can also access this data from his mobile phone, and we'll show you that in a moment. Now, the other side of this equation is city CIOs and IT heads, right? So they're sitting on this data. Most of it is in a geographic data format that's by a company called Esri, and we're partners with Esri. And they have the ability to publish this data to Esri cloud services already. So what we're going to do is provide them with tools to hook up their cloud published data to mobile apps really quickly and cheaply. So let's get to that demo. So let's take a quick look at the admin panel. So they're going to come into the admin panel, and they're going to fill out some branding information about their app. So this is like App Store branding stuff. Okay, continue on. Then they're going to tell us like where their data is in the cloud. So these are REST endpoints in the cloud and information about what's there. And then they're going to say these are the extra overlay layers that I want to display here and make available to the public. Okay, so let's look at that app. Okay, so here we are at the Coloft, out front of the Coloft. We're going to query that data in the cloud. Okay, it's pulling back some information, property value, so forth. And then there's some additional information in here, land improvement value, total value, zoning information, and so forth. Can you scroll that up? Never mind, just go back to the deck. We're low on time. All right, so this is a real need. Cities are already paying for these kind of apps, and they're paying a lot of money for it to consultants like me. We want to flip this business model and allow the cities to get a new revenue stream from their existing data through this freemium model. It's a large addressable market. These are the number of cities in the U.S. That doesn't even include townships and stuff. Counties. Our very conservative attach rate is 7 realtors, 3 real estate developers per city. Here's our startup milestones and spend. It's pretty aggressive, but the point is we think we have a problem-solution fit. We want to do a low burn rate to get to a product market fit and then build it out. And these are our key heads to fill. And that's it. TapTapMaps.com. I'm James.
This is very cool. I'm going to steal 2 questions, actually.
Yep.
One is this Esri data that's already been digitized today, where do people get to it? Where does it exist? And what's the need for an intermediary? That's question 1.
Okay.
And then the question 2 is what other data can, like census data, geospatial, other data, can you layer into this to maybe make your product more unique?
Right. So generally, the Esri data, most IT shops in local governments have they have the Esri software, so they're maintaining this data in what's called a spatial database, and it's sitting there. Some of it is accessible in some places, but it's really difficult to kind of get the big picture very quickly and easily about what's at a given location. There are some cities who spend a lot of money building apps to do that on the web. Very few that have done it on mobile so far, almost none. And what was the second question?
The second question is what other data can you add to what other data sets might you add to the municipal data to add more value?
Well, what I would say to that is that there's a larger vision to build out other vertical apps within the municipal space. So that might be access to parks data, bicycling data, live construction projects, what construction is going on right now, these types of things. Yeah. 41 seconds.
Curious, who is your audience for this app?
So the audience for this app is it's a double-sided equation. It's the real estate developers and the land developers who are going to pay for the service to access the app. And then it's the CIOs and on the government side who are going to take the data that they already have and generate through a revenue share model, generate a new revenue stream for it. No. The cities, the thing is, the cities own the data. All we're doing is providing a very efficient conduit for people to get to the data. All right.
Tell me when. Hi guys, I'm Shannon. I'm here to tell you about Social Takeout. But first I want to tell you a little story about the last startup weekend. There's a company created called Healthy Surprise. Next slide. It's been about 6 months and they're kicking a lot of ass and they're really busy. Joe, who's actually the CEO of this company, is expanding and he's starting new verticals. The first one is gluten-free surprise. Joe's so busy now, he doesn't have time to get on the social media sites that he knows he needs to be on, nor does he have time to hire a designer to design those sites for him. This is where Social Takeout comes in. We're going to do all that hard work for him. We're going to do the design and build out the sites for him, and our system is highly automated. All he has to do, let me walk you through the UX here, is click Create Your Social Presence. Tell us if he's local or a brand. So he picks one of those. Fills out a short order form. The order form has basic information that you would normally give. Name, email address, yada, yada, yada. He hits submit. And it takes him to a pay page. The pay page works currently. The whole site is running. If you know anybody who needs this service, send them to us. We will do it. So he pays. At this point, we're going to give him a little homework. We need like a logo, some mission statement, a little more in-depth information so we can give him the best product possible. If he already has that, he can hit Get Started. They can log in, yeah. So here, he gives us a little more information of that. Goes through that. At this point is where the magic happens. Our designers start working on their design. We have a highly automated Photoshop system here. That cuts down on design, and then the technology comes in. I'm going to let Max tell you about the magic technology part.
All right, so we've tried to automate pretty much most of this process. So right here we're looking at a Twitter page, and what we're planning on doing is establishing a presence in the social media realm. So things like Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, Google+, all these things. And what we tried to do here is kind of show you guys a little bit about how we've automated that process. So you remember that form that we just submitted, that we just filled out right there. We have this really, really cool driver, Wufoo, which holds our data. And what I'm doing here is loading in Automato what we've just done. So literally you can see that submission right there, Joe Winky. And when I click on it, actually you guys can see it. Let me do this. When I click on it, it's going to actually auto-populate all these fields. So like name and location and whatnot. See how it's changing right there? You can get real time, yeah. So it's pretty much auto-populating like all of these fields. And we can do that for the login as well as the actual sites itself. And I'll show you on Facebook again. So like, again, we have our database, which is real time. So we have that Joe Winky entry, and you see it updated right here. So see how it's changing with that? So it's pretty much filling out 95% of this stuff, and ultimately that's going to get us to do a lot of the design work that will take to make this look really, really pretty and make their sites up to snuff. And because of the resolution of this damn thing, it's, it is good for some, but for Twitter it's a little bit rough. But yeah, so I'm going to let Shannon talk about our Facebook and like all the design features that go into this.
So what we end up handing over to the customer is a complete social presence built out with all their information and creatives to match their website. So we're basically putting their brand consistently across all these platforms. Handing over passwords, creatives, and we also want to give them a warranty that they'll like our designs or we'll redesign them, no questions asked. So we have this whole package. Now, on top of this, we have all the financial information, which Henry is going to tell you about.
All right, fun part. Switch to the deck, please. There you go. So we did some market research. We found that actually 65% of small businesses in America right now do not have a social media presence. And a big reason why is because a lot of businesses out there simply can't afford a full-service agency or to hire someone in-house. And there's a niche that needs to be filled that allows them to get some sort of social media services, and we're filling that niche. There's roughly 2 million businesses we have access to. In terms of pricing, it's $1,000 to get set up. For local businesses, $1,500 for established companies and brands, and $1,000 to get a logo made. And over the long run, we're also thinking about a growth strategy for maintenance of these businesses once they've established their presences, and these are the price lines for that. and it's highly automated. I should recap that. So this is the wonderful team that built it. Thank you so much.
All right, questions? Shoot.
How do you plan to scale the business?
For the maintenance part that we touched on the end, I want to create like a highly automated system. So right now there's a lot of dashboards. I'm a social media consultant and I run a company's Facebook and Twitter, all that. Most of the dashboards are really complicated looking, and they're either fully manual or you hire an agent. So what I want to do is use algorithms to produce a recommended strategy calendar. So basically the customer would come in and they would see a strategy calendar with fields for them already filled out, like you should post Tuesday, Thursday, 10 o'clock is optimum for your social media, and they would just fill in the content they want. And that would be a pay-for service. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'll repeat myself from before. Local businesses are really hard to sell to. I've done it. He's done it. How are you going to do it?
Well, I think there's like a high viral aspect of this, and also for me, local businesses are part of it, but a bigger part for me, I'm passionate about startups, and especially like the startups that are funded and they need help, they like are slammed on time. So I would aim more towards those guys.
Yeah, and I would also say that the media has done a really good job of guilting businesses into to knowing that they need to be on social networks. They feel like, I got to be on Facebook, I got to be on Twitter. They don't even know what half the networks are, but they know they need to be there. And this is a way to make it transactional where people can just pay a flat fee, get a product, and have to go through the whole negotiation process of an agency and having a consultation, so they can be online easily. No one's servicing that right now.
And give me the cost again for like a simple cafe to do this. What does that work out to?
$9.99 for a smaller presence and $14.99.
And from the moment that they
we're going to create the expectation of 1 week, but we plan to under-promise and over-deliver. Cool. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you. You want to try it? Let's play the sound. We have a video here, and we want to make sure that's not way too loud. Okay. Yeah? Louder? That's good? Okay, guys. My name is David Hensel, and my grandpa always told me, don't listen to people you don't know. Don't trust people you don't know. Sorry. So our project's called Social Prove It, and Social Prove It makes it very easy for people to ask their friends online about their opinion. So I want to tell you 2 stories today, how Social Prove It can be used. The user case is Sarah, and then we have Avesta, who we all know, of course. Excellent, please. So Sarah has people in town. She has friends in town. She wants to show them a good time, so she picks a club. And she reads a lot of good reviews about this club, but then she ends up going there, and it's the worst experience ever. You know, the music's terrible, the people are super douchey, and you know, she's embarrassed in front of her friends, you know. So horrible experience, because she didn't listen to my grandpa. You know, don't trust people you don't know. And you know, with reviews online, it's such a thing. You know, you never know if they're fake or not. And when you ask your friends, you know, you want to buy a computer, you ask your geek friends what computer to buy. You know, or you want to buy clothes, you ask your fashionable or your gay friends what to buy, and not vice versa. You know, don't ask your geek friends for clothing advice. It might not work out. So yeah, and there's also a lot of fake stuff online. You know, fake testimonials you can buy very cheap, like fake reviews. You know, and also fake video testimonials. So we found this guy on Fiverr.com. You know, it's very easy. You pay $5, you have a fake testimonial. You know? So don't trust testimonials. You know, trust your friends. So So Avesta, you know, everybody knows Coloft, everybody loves Coloft, but he has a problem, yeah, right? Coloft rocks, huh? So Avesta has a problem. His website doesn't convert, you know. He can't figure it out. It drives him insane. But now he finds Social Proof It, and he installs it on the site, as you can see here. And let's say Oshin, who was on my team, over there. So he comes to the site, and he's reading through all the marketing copy, and he's at the bottom, and you see like, should I sign up? I'm not really sure. And then he sees like this deal here and says, ask your friends what they think about this product. Here he clicks it, and this was the wrong button. Yeah, there you go. And there's this pop-up, and he can customize the question. You know, I'm thinking about signing up for Coloft, and he could add a poll as well. You're a little fast, my friend. So he could add a poll as well. And now Social Proof It connects him to, right now just to Facebook, later on to Twitter, LinkedIn, everything. So he logs into Facebook, you know, he does his thing, go, you know, has to be authorized. It all works, just looks very crappy and we couldn't get it up, but yeah. So he selects Brandon, where he knows that he knows Coloft, and then Social Proof It puts a link on Brandon's and a message on Brandon's Facebook. So here you go, this actually works already. So you see, he used to have a notification. Yeah, there you see, Oshin posted something. And just go down. And there we have a link. And then, this looks terrible right now, but get up here, there's the question. And then he can comment there, you know. And he writes, Coloft rocks. I was thinking about signing up as well. And so, and also the people that are friends with him on Facebook see this. And so even more people find out about this, you know. And, Avesta is killing it here. You know, he's killing 3 birds with 1 stone. You know, he's converting Oshin, who might have left. Second of all, he gets Brandon to join as well. And even if they would not join, if they give negative feedback, he would finally figure out why his site's not converting. You know, it's super valuable information. He would never get this information from a survey because it's friends telling friends about a third party why it's not good. You know, so yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So there viewer again. So this was Avesta, and the outlook in the future. So first we want to spread the virus by targeting people like Avesta, business owners. And we want to also develop a browser plugin which we'll pitch in the question bar. So people can install Social Proof It in their Chrome browser, for example. And then they can start the Social Proof It thing wherever they are, on any site. They're not depending on the publisher to integrate it. And there's and Avesta could also, integrate a lot smarter. So, for example, when you leave your pricing page, then it pops up. Yeah, we have the marketing copy up already, and we're ready in a week. And you can sign up and, social proof things. It's going to be great.
Why is this better than just taking a URL or a LinkedIn ID and saying, what do you think of this dude or this company?
Well, first of all, it's a conversion tool that helps the merchant to...
the user, why do I care?
Well, you care. First of all, you can hit up people that are on different networks. It will integrate with Facebook, Twitter.
But you said to ask people I know.
Yeah, I mean, people, like, for example, I have friends that are only on Twitter and friends that are only on Facebook. And another add-on for the user later on, which we want to do, is we want to make it that it suggests the right people. For example, you have a technical product, then Avesta could, say, show only CTOs, on LinkedIn. Or you could,
I know them, so I already know them.
Yeah, well, then you can just type in, type it in.
Did you cover your business model? I don't recall. The business model for your
The business
website?
model, we're thinking about something like Hello Bar, so based on clicks. You get 50 questions for $10 a month, and then we need more.
So it's the merchant who pays you, right?
Yes, the merchant will pay. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
All right, guys, my name is Kenny Kadar, and we are Mogul Magnet. Now, this presentation here is dedicated to changing everybody's life who's an entrepreneur. We help find your next co-founder, build a team, and launch your dream. Now, the first thing we want to talk about is the need for this service. It's no secret that entrepreneurs need a team to be successful. We all talk about it. A team means together everyone achieves more, right? Now, I have a test case. His name is James. James is a mobile app developer, and James is looking to start a team. How does he do that? Can I get some audience participation on this? A couple options. Startup weekend, thank you. Some more. We kind of cheated for you, right? Thank you. Now, while all of these are good options, there are some limitations. For example, Startup Weekend. We've met a lot of awesome people here this weekend, there's no doubt. But the event sold out in 10 minutes. There were a lot of people who were unable to attend tonight. How can James connect with those people? Now, I'll tell you how. Mogul Magnet. We are a platform to connect entrepreneurs. We use algorithms, a la an eHarmony or a Match.com, to determine the best co-founder to start a business with. Now, we've heard that 1 in 5 romantic relationships start online. Why not business relationships? Why not James? Now, to demo how James is going to find his co-founder with Mogul Magnet, I'm going to pass it on to Steven.
Thanks, Kenny. So this is our front page here, basically our squeeze page. And you can see that if James was to come to our site, he starts off with a simple question. Who is he, and who is he looking for? So we said James is a developer, and James is looking for a marketer or a business development person to complement, his strengths. So he can just go to, I'm a developer, and I want to partner with a designer. After clicking on that, he's taken to a simple profile page. This is where we start out, get the key information to start collecting data and finding out, okay, well, James has these strengths, he has these weaknesses, what is he looking for? Right now, this is going to be the basis for our matching. It's going to be keyword-based to start off with, and then we're going to build it into a stronger algorithm. Obviously, you need some data to do that, but this is where we're starting off today. From there, you are given, you sign in, you can go through and click on your matches. So you can see, it looks like we have a couple of great matches here. Paige Craig, Richard Branson. And you look through and you say, okay, well, let me take a look. I think also AJ Harrington's, okay, well, let's see here. Build to succeed, business. Well, you know what? Let me do this. I want to message AJ today. From that point, that's where we start with monetization. You can see who you'd be a great fit with, but to actually make the connection, Kenny will talk about that a little bit more.
Thanks, Steven. So when you see somebody like AJ and you're like, this is the guy that I want to start a team with, or maybe I can start a team with, right? You need to message AJ. Well, that's where the monetization model kicks in. There's a subscription fee to be a part of Mogul Magnet. And thank you, sir. We're going to be printing money here. So with a subscription fee, we'll be charging either on a monthly basis or a yearly basis. And anybody who wants to be a part of our platform, who wants to reach out and connect to other entrepreneurs, has to pay part of that fee. In addition, there's potential for affiliate relationships. So not only are we going to help you find your co-founder, build your team, but we're also going to give you some of the tools that you need to be a successful business. So companies like LegalZoom, now you have your team, well, you need all your legal documents, your LLC, your partnership agreements, etc. A company like DocStock, a company like Edgecast. There are companies out there that help entrepreneurs succeed, but we might not know about them. And so our goal with Mogul Magnet is to be able to put entrepreneurs onto some of those platforms that will help them succeed. And then beyond that, there's an educational component. So you have your team, but there are still more skills that are necessary to succeed. There's customer development, there's networking, there's a bevy of issues that successful businesses need the skills to make it happen. And so we can have an education platform to provide some of those skills that they're looking for. So now we have a monetization model. Well, how are we going to market this thing? There are a lot of businesses that cater directly to our target market. Some of them are here. We talked about Startup Weekend earlier. Wouldn't it be great if those people who weren't able to go...
You talked about your algorithm for matching. That it seems to be that's core of your proposition.
Absolutely.
Can you describe that?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So right now it's keyword based. We use the profile and we can just match based on that. Moving forward, we just need to, we're going to move towards answering more of a, what do you call it, like a social.
Indexing that a lot of companies do use to match employees with companies. They've been around for 30 years, and we've researched on some scratch the surface of predictive indexing that can help match personality traits. But at the end of the day, we're also gonna need some user feedback. Hey, why did you match with this person? What questions are important to you? What are deal breakers? Those sorts of things. So, the algorithm is going to be something that constantly changes, similar to like an eHarmony or Match. You kind of have to tweak it constantly.
You can take personality test, get the data from both sides, and then correlate that.
So your hook is I'm going to have to pay you guys to be able to message, right?
I'm sorry?
When I see the profile, I have to join and pay to message the other guy?
To actually make the full connection.
That's kind of your hook, but why don't I just take his name, go to LinkedIn, and I'll find him, and I'll just shoot him a message.
Sure, that's a great question. Something LinkedIn does that we could copy is they'll say AJH. Oh, sorry. So they might say, AJH or, page C. So I don't know your last name necessarily. I just know that you're a guy with a name. We could also use what's the word I'm looking for? Nicknames or something like that. So instead of page, it's, serial entrepreneur or whatever it may be, a username, yeah.
How big is this market?
Well, the market is this room for sure. And the 200 people who are on the waiting list. Can you speak to this?
Well, the market is anybody who wants to start a business, right? How many people do you run into in any given day, any given week or month who say, I want to start a business, I'm just a person short. I'm a developer, designer short. It happens all the time.
So just to be clear, you can search the site as much as you like until you decide you want to communicate. And at that point, that's the hook to subscribe on a monthly basis, which is how much?
We're looking similar to like a Match.com, eHarmony kind of a dating model.
30
so it'd
a
be
month?
$30-50 depending on whether you're paying for the whole year or monthly.
There'll be tiers depending on how long of a period you want to sign up for. There'll be a 2-year plan, a 1-year plan, a 1-month plan, etc. We could also offer full day free trial.
Yeah, thank you.
Down. So just by show of hands, how many of you guys have bought clothes online? Basically everyone, since it's the #1 product sold online. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. The problem with shopping online is that it does not replicate the in-store experience. So to tell you about that, I'm going to introduce you to Monica.
Hi, guys. So up here you've got a picture of my best friend, Liza, and she is in Missouri, where I grew up, and we're high school best friends, and we tried to shop, we used to shop together all the time, right? But when we try to shop online, it looks something like this. Like, we have multiple browsers open, there's tons of stuff going on, we've got all kinds of things happening. So we've got all kinds of issues, right? It's hard to mix and match from the different stores. We actually do this offline and send each other Word documents or Google Docs with outfits. It's not social. I can't, tell her, she can't give me her opinion on something. And that causes me to have a fear of commitment. When I'm with her in the dressing room, she actually is like, oh, girl, no, that makes your butt look big. So, and there's not her online or there's not personalized experts. At least if she's not there, I can trust the store people to tell me. But online, that doesn't happen. And I'm not the only one with this problem. 81% of people want to create outfits across multiple online stores. And 75% want to buy an outfit or won't buy an outfit without validation. So I'm like that. I know you guys are like that, right? So we're going to bring you the offline shopping experience to the online world. We're going to make it easy for you guys to grab stuff. We're going to throw them into your virtual dressing room. We're going to save outfits. We're going to have your friends give input. And instead of reading you slides, I'm going to show you how it works. We're going to get snazzy. All right, yes, this is Nordstrom.com. It's live. So I'm going to shop for a dress. Oh, I think we should click on this dress here, right here. Oh, no. Yeah, there's my Snazzy bar. So we're going to click on a dress. And then I'm going to get my Snazzy bar comes back. I like this dress. Wait, stop. This one. Can you put it in my Snazzy dressing room? Like my shopping bag, sort of, but better because I can see everything I've already done. Oh, let me add some attributes about this. Oh, I'm a developer. I said attribute. Sorry. So this is cool, but it actually also might, Greg, that might work for my other dressing room, my tea party dressing room, or my high tea dressing room. Let's check that out. No, I don't think so. Let's go back to the other one. Okay, so, oh yeah, I need a jacket from Guess. Like, I think this one, this Clover jacket. Can you grab that back? Yeah, nice, right? So let's fill some stuff out about that. And oh, look, like these stylist suggestions are what other people are buying that have the same thing in this toolbar over here, right? So if I wanted to add these things, I could, but I'm not really into those two items right now, so we're going to skip that. Okay, so, I don't like this dress. You can get rid of that one. It's too black. I have more personality than that. All right. Okay, so bye-bye that dress. Okay, so now let's go check out my dressing room so I can see what's going on here. Okay, so you'll see we're in a snazzy room, and we've got our clothing rack, right? So let's put together an outfit. Oh, don't forget the earrings. I like the earrings. Okay, so we're going to put all that in our outfit room. We're going to save this outfit, and then it's going to show up down there. You can see, right? Yeah, over here, thanks. Over here we have our guaranteed winners. Again, this is either sponsored or what other people have been buying so that we can see sort of that, we can get over that fear of buying. Okay, so then we're going to vote. Oh, I'm sorry, I can also buy it all now. So if I wanted to buy that entire outfit, I could click that buy now button and go buy it. I'm going to vote for these two. I'm going to actually send them to Liza to vote. And she can come to this page. I'll send her this, and she can pick her outfit and write some comments. So that is what it looks like. And when I get multiple dressing rooms, when I first log in, it's going to look like one of my favorite sites, Pinterest. And now Greg's going to tell you how to make money.
All right, how are we going to make money with this thing? Well, affiliate links, that's the obvious thing. Then targeted advertising, bring it via our suggestion window and the bar. E-commerce stores can display ads. What's unique about this is you could be, let's say, shopping on a Macy's site, and Nordstrom could show an ad on the actual bar. A personal stylist. Let's say you pick out a bunch of items and you need a little bit of help. You can pay us. We'll give you a personal stylist. Also, we can send you reoccurring monthly subscription, deliver close to your place that you like. And the big stuff is the data. We're able to track shopping habits. And this transactional data could be sold to manufacturers and retailers. They can see trends in real time and see how people are putting stuff together, which is important because then they can pull stuff off a manufacturing line or maybe manufacture more of one color. And also the data profiles, we can suggest them to users, and it's basically a guaranteed winner. Woo! All right. Guys.
What are you looking? How do you see the user put the plugin? Is going to put the plugin in place for?
Well, we actually partnered this weekend with AdrenalAds, and they do browser extension installs. So they offered us $1 per install, and obviously the lifetime value of the customer is going to be way over that.
But don't they have something hidden in there where they get $1, but what do they get for that? I mean, is there some creepy marketing thing there?
No. I mean, what you see is what you get. This is all live. There's no smoke and mirrors here.
Who's the competition in this space?
That would be Polyvore, which is, if anyone views that site, I mean, I'll let you guys, it's not, it's very confusing. It's very un-user friendly, but we're really the only ones where you have the browser and you can basically see it across every single light.
We have the Snazzy bar.
Yeah, we have the Snazzy bar. And also, I mean, it's much more social. You can vote with your friends. You can invite people to the actual shopping and dressing room, and they can create different combinations for you and save it. And you can't do that with the other site.
And also, it doesn't take you out of the experience as much as that the competitor does. We try to keep you in the experience of that store as much as possible. Only when you're ready to check out do we take you out of it. Polyvore every single time makes you go to their site.
Okay, so what do you think is your biggest challenge to grow this business?
I'd say probably the biggest challenge is obviously getting users there and getting basically people to adopt it. I mean, we know Pinterest is really hot right now, so we hope that they're going to adopt it just like they've adopted Pinterest. And we also we have connections with basically first movers in the fashion industry, and we plan on going to those conferences like Magic or the LA market or Dallas market and actually getting it to them where there's a lot of fashion bloggers and there's a lot of buyers there that can actually distribute it throughout the community. Good job, man. Good job.
Hello, everybody. We're Restaurant Rep, and we're Restaurant Rep, and we're launched this weekend. And I would like to introduce you to some of our services. But before I do that, I would like to actually walk you through and have you be in somebody else's shoes. Our friend is Sean, and Sean is a real person. He actually owns a restaurant in Pasadena. It's called Mediterranean Cafe, and he has a real passion in life, which is creating amazing food. And what he does is he wakes up in the morning at 8 o'clock. He goes shops for his restaurant, and around 9:30 starts working at the restaurant, but he can't leave anything earlier than 9 o'clock. So imagine you're Sean. You just came home, you're tired as shit, and now, you know what? I have to sit down, check what's going on with my Twitter account for my business, what's going on with my Facebook account, what's going on with my Google Plus account for my business. Oh, and then let me see what's going on with Yelp. So there are two aspects. There's that social review aspect where he has to manage and the social interaction with his consumers. If we do not help Sean, he's going to drink himself to death. So we figured, you know what, let's help Sean out. So this is a quick demo. This site is actually live right now. Not all the features are working, but we're going to review the features that are currently working. So what Sean would do is we'd come home at 9 o'clock, and he would log in, not log in, actually create an account. So he would register. And this is actually right now being hosted on our site. When he creates a user for the first time, what he has to do is the system recognizes that there is no restaurant associated with this profile. So it tells them, welcome, let's start by giving you some kind of information on the dashboard. So we'll search for Mediterranean Cafe, and we're actually using factual data to help us with all this information. So everything is being pulled through factual. And he sees Mediterranean Cafe, he ends up adding it. And immediately he ends up getting a dashboard, and this dashboard tells him a couple of things. That overall online health, that's actually not something we're pulling from anybody. This is a part of it is factual data, and part of it is an algorithm that we came up with that takes into consideration your social engagement on your Facebook page, how many mentions you're getting, all these other things. As far as Yelp, Urban Spoon, and City Search, what you do is he's real quick seeing what his reviews are, if he's gotten your reviews, and we're also pulling your data from Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. A couple of the things that we're going to implement will be trends and goals, so he'll be able to go and say, you know what, right now I'm 4 stars, I would like to be 4.5 stars in 2 months. And we actually save that, and we keep on alerting him, saying, look, you said that, what's going on with that? If your overall online health ends up dropping or increasing, there are a lot of alerts that happen with that. So this is what we have currently. And go back to the presentation. This is everything happening from one platform. You're really not, managing your reputation, meaning we're not telling you we're going to increase your Yelp score or anything like that, because you have to do that on your own. There's no quick gimmick to fix that. What we're doing is we're tracking overall performance on your social review sites. In addition to that, we're also tracking your social engagement with your customers on your own pages, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Google+. And we're doing it in a very holistic way. So we're taking multiple data points from these sites and other sites. We're actually also going through Google Alerts and seeing what's going on, what's being mentioned with these sites. And we're giving you an online health meter. Not something just 4 stars or 5 stars, but overall, with all these sites, what's going on with you. Obviously, we have to make money. So the way we're going to make money will be by paid subscriptions. This will be free as long as it's in beta. The moment it comes out of beta, it's no longer going to be free. The grandfathered customers will keep their free accounts, but all these added services like actually tracking what you're doing versus your customers. So the data will be secret, meaning we're not going to tell you who's number 1 in your area, but we can tell you what's your average, what's your competitor with category and zip code. One thing we learned last night is only closers get coffee, right? Okay, so we end up closing a lot today. And these are businesses around here that we actually end up visiting. Sean is a real business, and he's already signed up. These businesses actually understand that this will become eventually a paid feature, but like for example, Barney's. This is more of a corporate thing, so the manager is really excited, but we have to talk to the corporate office. But we got the number. But some of these are actually real customers that have signed up with us. This was actually launched this weekend. And we had a lot of fun doing this. We actually would like to really thank the Factual guys because we had a lot of bumps with the Yelp API, and they end up helping us out a lot. That's the team. Thanks for startup. Special thanks for Coloft. You guys are amazing. And actually all the other sponsors. Thank you very much.
I'm curious, why did you pick the restaurant vertical?
Okay, so The reason we picked the restaurant vertical, we actually see this as a very scalable model. The restaurant vertical was very exciting because we actually see this as something that we eventually do for all businesses. But there are around 1 million restaurants in the United States, 15,000 in LA, 65,000 in California. We figured this is a really good vertical to start with because there are a lot of customers that we can reach. In addition to that, we can get the feedback. And once because there is an algorithm behind the online health, we want to get kind of focus instead of being all over the place. But we actually intend on scaling this business model into all places, anything that could be reviewed, whether it's social interaction on reviews or social engagement.
And we're also going to provide like custom recommendations for the restaurant owners how to improve their online health. And overall, we're going to like give them better recommendations, not just like a generic one.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to just tell you go and sign up for some paid account. We're actually we're going to tell you here are some things you're doing well, here are some things you can be doing better at. So for example, if the number of your followers stays the same, we're going to ding you a little bit because it's not good to flatline. So we want you to always continue your number of reviews.
One of your answers was about not sharing or comparing to other companies. You're going to keep it secret. Why would you do that?
No, it's not that. Like, for example, if Avesta owned a restaurant and he said, look, I'm going to pay. I want to know where I stand versus other people. We don't want, I mean, somebody else might not want to, if Sai had her own restaurant, we're not going to say Sai is number one. We're going to say you're not number one. You're number 4 in your category, and you're number 18 in your zip code. And these are the attributes of the number one. They have much, they're doing better on their Facebook, or they're doing much, much better on Twitter. That way, people don't feel uncomfortable using this kind of platform. We just didn't, we feel like restaurants are competitive. We don't want to give out the name. We can tell you the attributes, but we're not going to tell you that Sai is number one. You just know that you're number 3 compared to whoever number 1 is.
And what is your cost to acquire one restaurant?
Well, that's a great question. We actually figured that we're going to do a 3-way approach. The first one is just guerrilla marketing. We've noticed that a lot of restaurants are concentrated in specific areas. Thanks.
Hello, check test, 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, thank you. It's right here in front. The middle one. There we go. Hi, everybody. We're having a good time at Startup Weekend, Los Angeles. Woo-hoo! I got a couple of stories for y'all tonight, and the first one is pretty sad. It's about my development team, consisting of myself, Jeff, me, myself, and I. Me and myself left Friday, and I walked out right after dinner, throwing me the PowerPoint presentation, and this is my first opportunity to see it. So the Wow Effects is a website that's live right now, and a Windows Phone 7 application. It's kind of sad that my development team left. Is the audio working? The audio is not working. There we go. Okay, let's make sure it was sad. Has anybody heard that sound this weekend? Okay, well, let's take a look at this PowerPoint presentation and see if I can figure out what's going on with it. So let's get the laughs where you need them and when you need them. Target audience is presenters, such as myself, speakers like we had on previously, perhaps disc jockeys, or any one of you people that might go to a party and need some sound effects. So we might get some crowd-pleasing effects, everyone's favorite, the sad trombone. Maybe we've got surf rolling in from a gnarly valley dude, yada, 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 system ball. So perhaps you're a nerd on your first date. I can't imagine any of us that way, but the Wow Effects has you covered with farts, belches, and perhaps an ooga. Lots of significant other pleasers there. So the Wow Effects is in your pocket. It's categorized and filtered to give you relevant sounds and effects. But wait, there's more, and let me show you that. Here's our opening screen, and we've got buttons here that can make these noises. But if we go a little bit further, we'll see this search. And this is actually live data coming off the website right now. It could be filtered by rating or by category, whatnot. And if we were to click on it, we could go into a details view. in this details view, we could perhaps shout out our sound on a Twitter feed. We can assign a sound to the button and use it during our presentation. And we might go ahead and make a ringtone out of the sound as well. So one of my favorite lines from television commercials is, "But wait, there's more." So in addition to the sound effects, I'm also providing a stream of jokes and anecdotal information that might be relevant. So I want to tell you a little story about a friend of mine, a doctor in Chatsworth, California. His name is Dr. Sperlunker. And funny thing is, he's a gynecologist. So he's used the law of effects. He's one of my first customers. And I don't know, his groundbreaker is always with the young ladies. You know, why do they prefer the older gynecologists? And he says, well, it's because of Parkinson's. So moving right along. You know, I've got a settings page. I've got a rim shot. I've got an about page. At any rate, for the platforms, I've got a web page that's with some pretty new technology. ASP.NET MVC4 beta, just out now. It's totally optimized for desktop, mobile phones, and tablets. I've got the Windows Phone 7 app that's live and working. Got Android hardware and iOS real soon now. As I said, the team is me, myself, Aya Funny, and Jeffa. So here's a business model. Might have two different versions, a paid version and then a ad-supported version as well. Perhaps the advanced features as creating the ringtones and whatnot wouldn't be available in the light version. So some of the challenges I have to ramp this up is it is just me. So there's a lot of work to do. And if I really want to launch this and take the robots.txt off that's not letting anybody index it, I probably have to engage a designer and have a couple more people on the team. Right now it's hosted on a virtual machine in my bedroom. So the credentials that I have is I'm a successful entrepreneur. I started up a ISP, I don't know, a decade or so ago and sold it off to Nippon Telephone and Telegraph. And thank you. Wow! Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's all this afternoon. I was thinking of running out that front door before I started, but I really appreciate all your encouragement. I've heard the bell. They're speechless. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so we've got Marked Up. Where's Marked Up? Marked Up, followed by... Yeah. Where's that? And Doobie Me. Okay. We'll go live.
We're next, right?
Yeah. You're Marked Up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There right now. Yeah. Okay. How many? Is the audio or no?
Yes.
Okay, here we're good. And followed up by Doobie Me. So Doobie Me on deck. All right. Rest of Doobie Me. They have a technical sound.
Oh, okay.
All right.
No one has those.
Never. Let's hear it for Marked Up.
Woo! Woo!
right, everybody. I would tell you a story, but I'd rather tell you how we're going to make a shitload of money instead. So my name is Aaron Standard, and my past year and a half I've worked as a developer evangelist for Microsoft, and so I've probably worked with about 50 companies that do mobile application development. And I came up with the idea for Marked Up on Thanksgiving when I was reviewing an application that had in the neighborhood of 200 screens. And as part of Microsoft's sort of Windows Phone Showcase program, we have to give pretty detailed UX feedback on all of them. And doing that for a mobile device is a royal pain in the ass. It's been a pain in the ass with every company I've ever worked with, regardless of shape or size. That goes from companies that are publicly traded down to one-man development shops. The issue is that on every other platform when you're developing an application, whether it's a web app or a desktop app, it's really easy to get concise visual feedback that you can share among your team members and communicate when there are issues with the app. Because mobile applications run in a sandbox environment where it's very difficult to take screenshots and even harder to go and edit them, you're forced to sort of get feedback from your early beta testers in the form of War and Peace emails, where they send you a 4,000-word email describing the exact steps to replicate an error none of your developers can understand. So it's a really sort of nasty problem in terms of trying to get concise feedback on what's wrong with your mobile app and how to actually fix it. So what we've done this weekend is we built a mobile component that any mobile developer can drag into their pre-release application and ship out to all their beta testers and developers in order to help expedite the process of building better applications. So I can hand it over to Cam, who's going to test our component.
Sure. All right. So I'm awesome. It's okay. So the app I'm going to this is my own side app, right, Peachy? It's for Atlanta public transportation. The rest doesn't matter because we're in LA. So when you first look at the app, it's like, ugh. All right, there's some wonkiness going here. First thing is the font might be a little too light if you're like colorblind or whatever. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to hit the little pencil here. All right, and then so it takes a screenshot of what we're looking at. So now I'm going to be like, I'm going to circle right here. I'm not doing it right, whatever. And I'm going to tap to give myself a nice text box. We're like, all right, make it, we'll just say darker. Boom. All right, so everything else is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And at this point, it's uploading to like our hosted solution, and then when it's done, boom, it worked. So there you go.
All right, and so then Blake, the UX guy on my team, is going to go ahead and log in via his GitHub account to Marked Up. So he's going to connect using GitHub. And so now you can see our project, and he's going to drill into a screenshot that was recently submitted. And so if you scroll down a little bit, you can see all the annotations in terms of where they were on screen and a list of them. And developers on our team can add comments and convert these to GitHub issues in order to make it actionable for the developers to actually fix the problems on screen. So that's what our application does. Want to flip over to the pricing? So there's over 160,000 organizations shipping apps on Android, iOS, and Windows Phone 7. That represents a lot of small businesses, ranging from sort of sole proprietors up to massive teams like those you'd find at places like Rovio and Instagram. And so what we've done is we've followed sort of the GitHub-style pricing model to build sort of a recurring revenue business where we have a perpetual free tier available to small teams of developers who want to get a taste of our solution for free before they commit to it, all the way up to a platinum plan for large development shops where they might have a really large team, or they might have thousands of beta testers and might need more sort of storage capacity to handle all that feedback that comes in. And so we did a lot of customer development this weekend. I have a large network of CTOs I work with, but I decided to go ahead and focus our sort of customer development aspect of this presentation on a startup weekend sweetheart, Ian Hunter. So. How do you see this product being used at a real company like Zarly?
So I was actually really drawn to your product almost immediately. The way that we do product dev at Zarly, we start off with a general kind of theme that we want to move forward with, and we let UX run with it. We just come up with a bunch of ideas. And when things change, what do you do? That's the point. And that's why I think you guys have a real thing out here. Being able to look directly at what you have currently and annotate and make markup on your product and be able to iterate on that as a visual tool.
So, you got your own mic.
So how much equity did you have to give Ian for the video?
I'm trying to answer this question while understanding I'm also being filmed and people at Microsoft might see it. So I'll leave that at no comment.
How hard was this to do, and how hard would it be to replicate?
Well, the engineering effort to sort of produce a component that needed to be embedded in someone's application wasn't something that we obviously had the time to build this weekend. When you touch other people's code, everything has to work. Our team consists of, we're probably the most technical team at this startup weekend. I have one really experienced UX and mobile front-end guy, 2 experienced back-end and mobile developers, and then myself, also experienced back-end developer, and an evangelist who's worked with tons of companies. So we really understand what it takes to build a component like this, and we think we can get our full solution into market within 6 to 8 weeks, working part-time on it. Seriously, no further questions?
You talked about a freemium model. How do you stop me from creating multiple freemium accounts and just bypassing your paywall?
So that's good. That's a good question. So the first thing is that our API key is bound uniquely to your application. So for instance, in order for you to go ahead and actually get multiple freemium accounts in place, you'd effectively have to send additional distributions of our API key in your beta apps each time. So if you have a pool of beta testers that sort of exceeds the maximum capacity for that account, you would effectively miss out on feedback. And we send you notifications when you're above quota for any of your plans, letting you know, here's all the user feedback that you can't see this week because you aren't on the right payment plan.
You don't show yourself throttling by beta testers, though.
So in terms of the touch points beta testers have with us, they just see the little pencil icon or whatever Chromeless UI we have. And they also have the ability to go, and we didn't implement this weekend, but they'll have the ability to provide an email address if developers want to get back in touch with them and ask them some specific questions about how they use the app.
So first we're going to announce the Factual integration winner, John from Factual.
Yeah, Factual!
Maybe say a little bit why you chose.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. So first off, let me just say congratulations to everyone here. This is my 4th startup weekend, and I was just still blown away by the quality of all the presentations tonight. So just everyone should give yourself a round of applause. That was awesome. So at Factual, we're a data provider, data platform, and we're awarding a year of free accelerated access to our API and $500 in Amazon gift cards. And that goes to Restaurant Rep for they integrated with our 2 of our APIs, a restaurant API and another API, and they also did an awesome live demo. So congratulations to them.
All right. We also had a SendGrid giveaway, right? Did anybody implement
the first place is going to get SendGrid giveaway?
Oh, first. But did they integrate it?
It
didn't matter.
Wasn't a requirement.
Okay. All right.
So where's Cameron's going to?
Okay, cool. All righty.
Where's Cameron?
Cameron.
Okay. Well, we can.
Yeah. All right. What's she want to do? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the results are in. We're going to start with number 2. In second place, can we get a drum roll? In second place, we have Marked Up.
All right.
Awesome.
Well done.
Thank you, Marked Up. Thank you very much. Job well done. In first place, can we get a drum roll?
Drum roll, please.
It's Snazzy. Great job, guys.
Nice job. Awesome. Well done. Okay. All right. And for the launch conference table and tickets. Right.
Yeah, so for the last startup weekend, actually we gave the table away first to Zarly, and then they won first. Just for the record. Yeah. It did make a difference, right? And how did you like the conference? Right? So they should be pretty stoked whoever's going to win? Right. So I'm actually going to give it away to both Marked Up and Snazzy.
And there's one more. There's one more surprise prize that I just heard of. Howard Marks from Start Engine is giving Snazzy kind of a free ticket to go in to the accelerator with $20,000.
Yeah.
All right. Only at Startup Weekend, guys. Great job. Really great job.
So amazing work, everyone. So give all of yourselves a big round of applause. And you guys are ready to hit the after party?
After party!
But before then, we need
everyone know where we're going? Volcano on 5th and Santa Monica.
But before you leave, we ask everyone if you can help pick up chairs and at least 5 pieces of trash. We need to
underneath your seats. There are trash. Please
before we get out of here. So
thank you, guys.
And one other, Adam, you have one other comment? Oh yeah, and we're gonna do a group photo once we get the chairs picked up here. So please help stack up chairs, pick up trash. For a big group photo. So, all right. After party.